Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Naruto was a half god, half demon, half death? Okay, so just yeah, slash, whatever. This is part 6 of this what if, and I want to mention one thing. I want to end some what if series, so yeah, I'm trying to always end some of them, but of course, since with my mind, I continue to make more what ifs that are new. I should probably stop doing that. Should just like finish what if, because I almost ran out of space doing what's it called what if Naruto was a blind Uchiha, but yeah. But of course, other than that, let me begin in this what if and kind of start on what to call this what if and shut up. Also, what's it called? Go subscribe to Anime Sensei, iconic what ifs and Obito what ifs. Links will be in the description. My second channel will also be in the description. I'm still trying to upload more. It's just like sometimes I get too lazy and I don't really upload in either my first or second, but So, let's just begin. So, we go into where we last left it off. Now, Naruto, Kankuro, and even Gaara being on a team together, they have been doing teamwork so good that they don't even need a Jonin Sensei. They have a Jonin Sensei called Baki. It's just Baki is sometimes not even there half the damn time. He's sometimes there, he's sometimes not. He knows that both Naruto, Kankuro, and even Gaara are already good enough to take care of themselves and should be already ranked up to high Jonin, except for Kankuro. Sometimes Baki doesn't really see the point in Kankuro a little bit, but Kankuro is a genius in his own right. Naruto, who's actually named Lucifer in this, because Naruto didn't want to show off his real name and just name himself Lucifer, or because he just didn't give a fuck about his actual real name and stayed as Lucifer, because he kind of liked the name from, the King of Hell, Lucifer, so that's why he kind of took the name. Lucifer is okay with that, and like Lucifer isn't going to go after Naruto and kick his ass, because he did give half of his power towards Naruto. So, of course, he wanted Naruto to choose his name. But, yeah. Of course, this is where, Naruto, he is just with his team. And, of course, they did kill the daimyo. Wind daimyo and even the stone daimyo. And kind of changed them to be new daimyos. Now, they know about the plan about destroying Konoha. Now, we go into about a couple of months later. This is where the Kazekage kind of asks the Raikage, basically the Stone Kage, and even the Mitsukage to kind of come in a meeting, because they are actually almost 1 month, almost close to the training exams, but they're right now planning ahead, because they have gotten a message from the Leaf Village about tuning exam. Now, mostly the Kazekage got a message, even the Mist Village and other villages. Now, of course, the only message that even Kumo and even Stone Village has also got a message. So, of course, they're right now planning ahead. Now, of course, they want to get rid of the Waterfall Village. And the only way to get rid of the Waterfall Village power is by taking its Jinchuriki away. And that is Fu. Now, of course, this is where the Kazekage is suggesting to bring some Jinchurikis, or some mostly high-ranking ninjas, enough to get Fu out of the village and might possibly destroy a couple of the villages. Buildings. Important buildings, making sure they are weak enough so they won't be able to help the Fire Country. So this is where Anoki says, interesting. Like for my daughter, well, not my daughter, I wouldn't say. Actually, yes, I want my daughter to be on this raid, because you say that the Jinchuriki is a girl, right? Kazekage-sama? Yes, from Naruto's kind of power and seeing whatever bullshit, because his dojutsus are broken, his power's broken, and Anoki agrees with it, everyone does agree. But this is where he says that, it seems that also he does have a little bit of the nine tails, so I mean they kind of know about that. But of course, it seems that the nine tails did tell him that well, food is the Chinchurki of the seven tails, and the seven tails is hosted by someone named Fu, a girl with green hair and orange eyes. That's how much the seven tails kind of told the nine tails. But yeah. Because Naruto, even though he has the nine tails can really communicate with anyone. Even if they haven't fist bump or like share talk or anything. Like if even he doesn't ever need to meet this person. He can connect with everyone. Reason why is because Naruto's powers of being basically heaven, the void, and even hell itself. Basically the powers of those creator gods. He can actually connect to anyone. Either from, the life or death. So yeah. Of course the nine tails is able to kind of do that, so yeah. So of course the Kage says, so yeah. So I guess sending a girl squad would be good. Right, Kage, are you okay with your what's it called? Kunoichi going? The right Kage nodded. Mizukage. Then Mizukage already nodded. And this is where Kazukage says, then I agree also. So the Kunoichi, the four Kunoichis will go to get food, while a distraction must happen. This is where, the Raikage says, why don't you allow Naruto to do it? It seems Naruto's already powerful enough to kind of take on a Shinobi alliance, even if he seems not to care that much about it, about not showing that much power. This is where the Kazukage thinks about it and says, that is true. We haven't really mentioned Lucifer's powers much. This is where, the Raikage says then it will be a good chance to see how strong he is. This is where, the Kazukage nodded. This is where, with that happening, they go on to do the mission. Of course, this is where Tamara's team was actually tasked, and Naruto was just coming along to just do distractions. But yeah. Now, Naruto actually found out an ability that he actually has. Something from the death ability. He was actually discovering more powers in the heaven, the hell, and the void power. Death. He can legit summon people from the dead. Like a necromancer. Or even like the Shadow Mourner from Solo Leveling. So yeah, he can summon that up. And of course, he can make an army of skeletons trying to attack whatever. He can use also the undead followers from death. Because death does have an army of souls that he kind of make his not Shinigami helpers, but mostly like skeletons that actually help the Shinigami just for some things. So of course Naruto also found out something from death. He found out that he has a very special contract with, not death himself, but with an animal, and that is crows. This is where Naruto has some in crows, and he can see through the crow's eyes without like having a special connection to them. He already has a special connection to them. He has a contract with them. That's just because it was already forced upon Naruto when he decides to take the powers of being deaf. Kind of just a little project of him having death with powers. But yeah, now this is where Naruto has that contract. He also has another contract with what's called Hell. Hell contract animal. And that is actually two different animals. First, it is a 3-headed dog that actually has like lava kind of always coming out of his mouth or something like that. And he's a huge type of dog. This is called a hellhound. But the other one, it is actually a dragon. Now these dragons are, very powerful in fire, of course. And of course, this dragon is red and is basically a leader of the dragon clan. It's red but also has some black around it, so yeah. And his eyes are actually a glowing, crimson red. So yeah. Of course, the heaven side, he has two contracts with heaven animals. First one, it is a horse, But not just any type of horse. This is a white horse with wings. A Pegasus he has a contract with. And of course, that is actually very powerful. Because it actually has very powerful infinity to win and other things. But he has the second contract. And this second contract, it is, well, to a, So the second animal that he has a contract towards is like a bird slash lion, well, kind of lion, tiger mostly, slash, well, it's mostly on four legs. It has the colors of similar, like a tiger on what to call its legs. Of course, it has feathers like a bird. And of course, it's where this, like, creature is huge. Now, what am I actually talking about? A griffin. A griffin is the second contract for Naruto. So yeah, Naruto can actually summon these creatures out to help him in battle. But yeah. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of Naruto going towards the, what's it called, Waterfall Village. Of course, Naruto summoned out a Pegasus and a Griffin, so he'd be on the Griffin while Pegasus kind of brings, well, Tamari's squad towards what they call the village. Now, of course, Naruto, he is kind of like having his crows, who are actually always outside and doesn't need to be summoned half the time. They sometimes come out of nowhere and tell Naruto anything information, but yeah. This is where Naruto's right now in the air, and he got multiple crows to kind of land on, well, the Griffin's head. The Griffin is not right now, it doesn't care that much. Of course, he gets annoyed a little bit if the crows do kind of like put their legs fully on to kind of like claw the Griffin in the head or something like that, with their like pointy, like sharp claw legs. But yeah, they get the Griffin does get annoyed. But of course, Naruto has managed to make the Griffin not kill the what they call crows. And of course, this is where a crow that is supposed to be somewhat the leader of, well, somewhat the crow contract, is this kind of crow with a scar that kind of runs down from his head towards his eye, and he has one eye kind of closed, well, kind of closed. His eye is kind of, well, a blank because he can't really see from that eye, but the other one is kind of onyx black. Now, of course, not onyx black, but mostly black. This is where, well, Naruto says, cousin. So that's what the crows call. This is where cousin says, hello there, master. We have found the, what's called village. It took us a while, but we managed to find it. Please forgive us for taking a little bit too long. Naruto says, no, it's fine. So where would it be? It'll be in the biggest waterfall, what's it called, we found. Of course, there would be a cave going inside it. This is where, well, Naruto nodded. This is where Naruto says, okay, Griffin. This is where the Griffin says, well, he kind of roars a little bit. And this is where he knows what Naruto is wanting him to do. Smash through the freaking waterfall and crack through whatever. Now, this is where the Griffin, he makes a ball of like light, pure light, in the middle of the, what's it called, air. He then, before he was about to do it, Naruto says, make a light ball. This is where the Griffin understands to make pure light become a ball. And this is where the ball is being, well, a little bit bigger than a Rasengan. It looks like what's it called, the size of the Rasengan. Like not atomic Rasengan, the bigger Rasengan. And this is where Naruto, he says, Griffin, launch now. This is where the ball went so high in such incredible speeds, smashing into a waterfall, going straight through it like a drill, and just hitting a building that was inside the waterfall village. This is where waterfall ninjas realize what the hell just happened. They're being attacked. Naruto says, Tamari, Samui, and even what's it called, Kurisuki, and also Sayana, get in there. Hurry up and get to what's it called, Fu. And also, I'm gonna be doing distraction. That also means I'm gonna kill the Kage. So yeah, just get in there. This is where they all nod. This is where Naruto puts his clothes as a, what's it called, as an Akatsuki member. Because yeah, Naruto just kind of changes clothes to being like an Akatsuki member and starts attacking. This is where, well, he flies into the hole that was actually pretty big. And of course with the Griffin, this is where the Griffin goes in high speeds, slashing and ripping through what's it called, multiple ninjas. Now, of course, this is where Naruto, he's kicking and knocking the fuck out of, just knocking the hell out of the lights out of, waterfall ninjas. This is where Naruto's kicking the shit, only using his legs. Think of it like Sanji. Like, only if Sanji uses his legs. Of course, this is where Naruto, he ignites one of his legs into fire and starts just kicking the shit out of most of them. This is where he says, fire, hell flame, fire leg style. What's it called? Jet, well, not jet. He says, yeah, jet, jet Gatling gun. This is where he starts kind of just spam kicking at, some of the ninjas, killing them super easily. Because when they get touched by this flame, they actually get burned super easily. Because these flames are dangerous. Naruto's easily kicking the shit, putting, both of his arms onto, like, the ground, and then putting his legs up in the air, spinning around, knocking people away. Easily killing them. Now, of course, Naruto's doing this while using his hands. He's using these damn legs for combat. But yeah. So, of course, this is where, how should I say? So, I'm back on the what, I'm sorry. This is where, Naruto's only using his legs and easily just igniting them with crimson red flames of hell. And, of course, easily killing a bunch of ninjas. This is where ninjas started shooting water attacks at Naruto to extinguish the flames. Now, Naruto's legs rips through the water so easily because these flames cannot be extinguished right now. They're right now hot, and I mean very hot temperatures of just burning through any water attacks. This is where Naruto, he kind of also just jumps away from multiple water attacks and appears right in mid-air from them and smashing their, an axe kicking them down to the ground, killing them in an instant. But yeah, this is where the waterfall Kage gets out and says, damn it, where's the Jinchuriki? This is where, the griffin is right now eating and ripping through terror people, but yeah. This is where two people in a cloak are right now watching the mass destruction. And this is where, one of them says, hey Kakuzu, did we ever had a new member that's in the Akatsu's was assigned to destroy the waterfall? Kakuzu looks at Hiran and looks back at Hiran and says, how the fuck should I know? Maybe the leader has another group that's also like the Akatsu's, just going to destroy the waterfall village. Besides, we're here because, not after the Seven Tails. Actually, no, we're after the Seven Tails. Yeah, Kakuzu said that. And also, some money. Hiran says, Kakuzu, I want to meet this guy. This dude is actually amazing. Look at that giant bird. He's ripping through people like it's nothing. That's where Naruto, he kind of like brings back the griffin and tells the griffin that he can go. And this is where multiple people were wondering what is happening. Naruto called back the griffin, and the griffin just poofed away. That's where Naruto goes through hand signs and says, a hellhound. Basically, he calls out a hellhound. And this hellhound is bigger than that of a toad like Gamabunta. This is where the hellhound is right now just roaring, just barking, ruff, 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 because it's 3 heads, so yeah. Of course, Hidan says, that's a cool looking dog, but why does it look familiar? This is where Joshin is kind of right now looking through Hidan's eyes and seeing a hellhound. This is where Joshin does remember something about Lucifer saying that he gave powers to an immortal person, a kid. And this kid has what they call the powers of the Shinigami, mostly death, for real, and, Michael being the god of heaven. So, of course, Joshin is saying, that's a hellhound. Ooh. Should have warned Hidan. Now, if Hidan doesn't piss off the person, I think he'd be good. You know what? I should warn him though, because he doesn't want to lose Hidan. That's a good sacrificer. Well, not sacrificer. A man that brings a bunch of sacrifice to him. So of course he doesn't want to lose Hidan. So of course he managed to communicate Hidan's head by kind of talking in his head. This is where Hidan says, "Joshin, is that you? Hello there, my lord." This is where Joshin says, "Hidan, do you see the giant dog with 3 heads?" This is where Hidan nods. And this is where Joshin says, Well, that is called a hellhound. And, well, the summoner is, well, someone very powerful. And I just want to tell you one thing and one thing only. Don't piss him off. Because this person is very powerful. Very powerful, I should mention. He can probably get rid of your mortality and disconnect me from you. And get rid of you. And kind of kill you. Even if we are connected into, like, this cult. Okay? So just don't piss him off. Whatever he's doing right now, just don't do something stupid. As to where he not. Yes, my lord, I will not attack this person. By the way, who would it be? Josh says, don't know. Just don't piss off someone that you don't like. If this person has this kind of dark aura, just don't piss him off. That's where Hiran says, okay, then I won't. Kakuzu says, are you talking to your non-existent god? This is what what's it called? Hiran says, Joshing? He's a god. And he just told me to not piss off the wrong person that actually summoned that dog. What is it anyway, Kakuzu said? A hellhound. Okay. He says that the hellhound is a very powerful summoning creature from hell. And that if whoever summoned it has the power of summoning out a dog like that, and being that big, that we should probably, well, I should probably not mess with him because he will be able to disconnect Joshin from me, and my immortality will go away. Kakuzu says, are you serious? You can die? Yup. Oh. I'm guessing that the person who summoned it is the fake Akatsu member looking like. Or probably real. I don't know who it is, but if he can disconnect your immortality, that's probably bad. Then again, people can really just cut your head and throw it into the water and then you're kind of dead. Because your body doesn't really move. Hiran says, but you will never do that, right? Kakuzu says, other than that, we should probably think of a plan to find the seven toes. Hiran says, you would never do that, right, Kakuzu-sama? This is where Kakuzu ignores his ass. Because that basically gave him the greatest idea to just cut Hiran's head and put it in a water bag just so he won't need to listen to Hiran. This is where Hiran says, Kakuzu, listen to me. This is where we go into, well, the Jinchuriki, the Seven Tails. The Seven Tails was about to go towards World of Fight until she was kind of fight against with the Kunoichis. This is where Fu said, who are you people? She also has like this kind of, like, how should I say, something on her neck. Kind of like always kind of pulsing lightning into her and just torturing her if she doesn't go towards the cause. Of course, Fu looks a little repeller and scared of, well, most people. Because she was tortured in this world and kind of, well, not world, mostly in this village for kind of being the Seven Tails. And they wanted a weapon, so of course they torture her so she will become an emotionless killer weapon. But yeah. Of course, this is where Samuel managed to appear behind Fu and uses her own lightning to zap the collar off by destroying it. This is where Fu was like, the collar? What? Why did you help me? This is where Tamari says, we have no time for this. We will tell you everything, but let's just go. This is where, well, Fu decides to go along with him and sees that the collar isn't zapping her or anything. And of course, she was going to start flying until, well, Tamari says, no, don't use your, what's it called, beads or anything. Come on, just get on the horse. This is where she says, is that a flying horse? Yes. It just ignore it. Come on, what's it called? Tamari says, let's go, Pegasus. What's it called? Not Pegasus. Horsey? I forgot what, I don't know what to call a horse, okay? Most of the Pegasus, Vaughn. That's what I'm gonna call him. Vaughn. Vaughn the Pegasus. This is where Vaughn nodded and just like fly up and go towards the air. Mostly the giant hole. Now this is where the rampage of the Hell Dog is right now, rampaging and slicing through people and just destroying buildings left and right. This is where, well, a Kage is right now looking at this. The waterfall Kage. He jumps down and summons out something that, well, should have been, well, what's it called? Impossible to kind of summon. And this is, well, a dragon. Not just any dragon, a Lavante. Now this is where Naruto sees the Lavante. Now the Lavante is actually smaller than the, what's it called? Well, a little bit smaller than the what's it called, Hellhound. And the Levante says, "You bastard summoned me again. You first got rid of me. You first got me from the Uzumakis. Now you're telling me to fight? Screw you." This is where the Waterfall Kage says, "Oh, do you want me to burn your contract instead? Destroy anyone who was an Uzumaki. Kill the last Uzumakis." This is where Levante kind of grit his teeth, but of course, this is where Naruto appears right in front of the Kage and says, "Oh, you say Uzumakis? Well, I'm also an Uzumaki." This is where Levante heard it, and this is where Naruto, he says, "Hellhound, keep destroying things." This is where the Hellhound is right now, just destroying things, ripping through things, and the Waterfall Kage tries to punch at Naruto until something appeared right in front of Naruto's hand. Two black daggers. And this is where, well, mostly two black daggers in different hands, and cuts through any, arms that were actually going towards him. Mostly a fist. This is where the fist that was going straight towards him has multiple cuts, and then it just shatters into a million pieces of blood and bones and skin. This is where the Kage screams out and says, "Why you?" This is where Naruto cuts his head off cleanly. This is where Naruto says, "Your body will, well, not your body, your soul will be mine now." This is where Naruto's hand decides to glow into a glowing black mist, and of course just grab the Water Kage's chest and rips out a white-looking orb. And that's where Naruto crushes it in his hand by destroying, well, not destroying the soul, but destroying the orb that's right now in the soul, kind of freeing it. But this is where Naruto then just throws into a contract. Or not a contract, into a portal, bringing it to Death himself to judge its sins. Well, not judge its sins, not Death himself, mostly Lucifer. And Lucifer kind of just says, "It seems that this boy really got me something." This is where he grabs his soul and says, "I will be enjoying your suffering." This is where the Waterfall Kage can't escape. What's it called? Hell's grasp. So yeah, of course, this is where Naruto, he looks at the Levante, and the Levante looks at Naruto, and Naruto is showing what's it called, his bluish eye and his crimson red eye, basically from heaven and from hell, and also his third eye. And this is where Naruto says, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki." This is where the Levante looks down and says, "Uzumaki, I can feel the royal blood of Uzumaki coursing through you. So, I guess you will be my new contractor." This is where Naruto, he takes out something from, there was actually a sealing mark on, what's it called, the Waterfall Kage takes out a scroll, and of course, this is where it has the contract. This is where there's an X appearing right in front of the Waterfall Kage's name, just getting rid of it, and then Naruto signs it, saying, "Well, don't call me Naruto, by the way, or Uzumaki. Call me Lucifer Angel from now on. I do not want to be referred from what's it called, Uzumaki or Naruto." This is where the Levante says, "Since you are someone that's from the Uzumaki, I guess I can change the name and call you Lucifer Angel." This is where, Naruto nodded. This is where, the Levante says, "But thank you for freeing me from that disgusted man." This is where Naruto nodded and Levante disappears. And this is where the Hellhound also disappears. Naruto, he then makes something like a small fireball into his hand. This looks like a supernova. And this is where he launches it towards some buildings and blows it all up, destroying the Kage Tower itself. Now, of course, this is where Naruto disappears and jumps into the hole and starts just running. But yeah. Of course, where Hiran and Kakuzu, they leave, try to find the Seven Toes until they heard that explosion. They said, "Holy shit!" Of course, their clothes were burnt off, mostly their cloaks, because they're not fire resistant, but they're immortal. And this is where Hiran and Kakuzu go, "Puh!" Or mostly Hiran goes, "Puh!" like what's it called, ash from his mouth. He says, "What the fuck was that?" Kakuzu says, "The hell should I know? Was it that other member? Oh, so confusing as hell." Well, great. I feel like the Seven Toes is dead. You think? Hidan says, "Look at the mass destruction he did. Holy shit. What's it called? Joshin wasn't lying. That dude was really strong. Really strong." I wonder if he is on our side. But we go into a time skip of Fu being in, well, the Sand Village. She's actually being, what's it called, treated like an actual person. Now, of course, Fu does meet, well, Gara. And Gara is nice to her, and just like in original canon, Fu kind of flusters a little bit with being near Gara. This is where, well, she kind of likes really much Gara. This is where, well, she also meets Naruto, but Naruto doesn't really have an interest in her, but yeah. Of course, Fu and Gara does kind of talk a little bit more, and of course, Fu's always flustered near Gara, and Tamari actually seen this, and Tamari has, what's it called, always a grin in her face. This is where Naruto says, what, do you like to be, well, Naruto was next to her, and he says, what, do you like being told that you're beautiful also, Tamari? Tamari-chan? This is where Tamari flusters says, Naruto, where the hell did you come from? Tamari is right now spying on Gara, as you mentioned. And of course, Naruto says, Oh, just seeing what Gara and Fu were doing. I just want to check on them, but yeah. This is where Tamari says, don't sneak up on me. This is where, well, Gara and Fu already left, so they don't really hear Tamari's kind of screams a little bit. But yeah, Naruto says, oh, sorry about that. Tamari says, you jerk. This is where Naruto says, why so angry all the time? This is where Tamari says, stop calling me Chan, Jesus Christ. This is where, well, mostly not Jesus Christ, he says, call me. This is where Naruto says, why not? Is it wrong for me to call you that? This is where Tamari says, no, it's not. This is where Naruto says, then I'll be fine. This is where, when the Katakage heard the good news, he also heard the very good news. The Waterfall Village is right now in just complete shambles. Fire Country is right now trying to help the waterfall. This is where Minato found out that an Akazu member did attack and tried to take the Seven Tails. Well, not take, fully took the Seven Tails. Just like, yeah. Of course, Minato could not do anything to help the Waterfall Village. Right now, the Kage is dead and other things are dead. Minato is trying to help them. But of course, he can't because he needs to prepare for the Chunin exams. This is where, well, we go into another time skip of about a month. This is where, well, Tamari, Samui, Kurisuki, and even Sayana are actually called into the office with what's it called, Team Naruto's team, well, mostly Baki's team, Kumo Ninja team, and also, well, a Stone Ninja team. And also a waterfall, not waterfall, a Miss team. Also, Fu was there. This is where, well, the Katakage is there with, what's it called, the Raikage, the Stone Kage, and even the Mizukage. And of course, they are there to discuss the teams. This is where the Katakage says, it comes to my attention that we can't really put you together tomorrow with, well, your team Kunoichi. Reason why is because it looks suspicious if four villages, what's it called, top Kunoichis were in the same team. So we're gonna have to split you up. This is where Tamari says, really? To what? So, original before Lucifer came, I'm actually taking Lucifer from Team Gara and Conqueror. This is where Gara says, but what? Why? This is where, well, Conqueror says, wait, what? No, he still hasn't paid me my materials. This is bullshit. This is where, well, the Kazakage says, shut up, both of you. This is where the Kazakage says, Tamari, you will be with your brothers. Tamari kind of nodded happily because she always wanted this. But of course, she kind of missed her Kunoichi team now. Because that's what it was called. It was called the Element Kunoichi team, but yeah. Because Tamari was an expert in wind, Samu was an expert in lightning, Kurisuki was an expert in earth, was it called jutsus? And of course, well, Sayano was an expert in water. So of course, she's gonna miss that team a little bit, but yeah. But of course, she's with her siblings. Her two, well, young siblings. This is where next, the Raikage says, Samui, you will be on team, well, Killer Bee mostly, or not Killer Bee, Yujito. This is where Yujito says, I can stop being a genin? I can finally go back to my Jonin's position? This is where, well, Yujito was there with Amoe and also Karu, or not Karu, Karin or whatever her name is. And of course, is where, well, Raikage nodded. Somebody nodded also and says, yes, Raikage-sama. This is where, well, the stone, Anoki says, Kurisuki, you will be on, well, I forgot that big guy's name, the guy with the big nose and all that, on his team, and also someone named, Zayana, well, not Zayana, what's the call her? Lorana Bakahatsu, meaning explosion in just Japanese, that's her last name. This is where, well, Kurisuki nodded, and she's right now excited with being in one of her friends, what's called her friends team mostly, but yeah. And this is where the Mizukage says, Sayana, you will be on a team as a joining leader for Chojiro, what's it called, and two other the new kind of waterfall, not waterfall, seven swordsmen of the mist. One has an explosion sword while the other one has the needle, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, Sayana nodded. This is where Naruto says, or not Naruto, Lucifer says, what about me? Wait, do I have a position to kill what's called the children of Minato Namikaze, Kazekage-sama? This is where the Kazekage says, something like that. You will be on a team by yourself, but I feel like you wouldn't like to go into, well, being in the tuning exams. Yeah, that is true. This is where the Kazekage nodded. Then you will be a guard for myself. A guard to protect me. Because I will be next towards what's called the Hokage. As it were, Naruto nodded and says, yes, sir. Now, of course, before anything I should mention, I should also mention one thing. Before we go into the tuning exams, Naruto did meet a flashback. Meet what's called Zabuza and Haku and even Hakin. So, of course, Naruto kind of did bring him towards the Sand Village after Naruto beating the shit out of Team Kakashi's team. So, yeah, he had a mask anyway. Naruto had a Shinigami mask when he was beating the crap out of them. But, yeah, of course, Zabuza is actually a, like, high jonin and protector to what's called Mei, because he went back to the Waterfall Village, and even what's called Haku and Hakin did. Now, Haku's actually on the team of, well, the Mizu team. The Mist Village team. But yeah, that's going in the tuning exam with Chojiro. Because he has what they call the needle sword. So yeah. And of course, this is where the other person is just someone who has the explosion sword. But yeah. So of course, this is where, well, what's it called? Haki is right now just next to Mei, like an actual daughter, and kind of dressed nice and all that. Because, yeah, she was kind of next to her. Because, well, Haki kind of sees Mei as like a mother figure, kind of. But, yeah. Now, of course, this is where we go into Naruto and the time skip of the tuning exam. Naruto is next to the Kazekage. Now, of course, Orochimaru did meet with the Kazekage to talk about an alliance, perhaps. Naruto was in that room. Now, of course, seeing, what's it called? Well, he had a Shinigami mask, I should mention, and a black cloak. And, of course, this is where Orochimaru is saying, so, I want an alliance. Now, of course, this was past the, what's it called? Past the day before, well, it was after the day they kind of met, what's it called, with the other villages. But, of course, the Orochimaru wanted to meet with the Kazekage. So, of course, this is where Kazekage was thinking about it. Of course, the Kazekage nodded, and they did agree to it. Now, of course, Orochimaru did already bite Sasuke in the neck, but yeah, because this was the day after that day, so yeah. So it's kind of like when it's the final tuning exam. This is where, well, Orochimaru wanted to visit again the basic Kazekage to kind of tell them about this. And this is where, well, Orochimaru says, I'm gonna have to need your body. He tries to attack, what's it called, the Kazekage, until Naruto moves so fast and blinding speed. This is where, well, not even the bodyguard of Orochimaru could react, and that was what they called Kaguya. This is where Naruto slammed his dark, misty hand into Orochimaru and ripped out his soul. This is where Naruto cracks it and sends it straight into hell, into a portal into hell. This is where Kaguya tries to attack, well, Naruto with bones, and Naruto just destroys him in an instant with two black daggers. This is where Naruto says, arise, my army of the undead. This is where multiple skeletons appear, started attacking Kaguya. Now Kaguya's been trying to just use his bones to attack these skeletons, but these skeletons also has hard bones, so they're basically fighting against the Kaguya. Now, of course, the Kaguya did try to say, bone bullets, and shoot at Naruto, but when it hit Naruto, the bone bullets didn't even affect his kind of clothes, didn't rip through or anything. Naruto says, "You're really pissing me off." Naruto pulls out a black scythe and appears right next to the Kaguya and just slices through him, ripping him into two halves. This is where, well, the Kaguya says, "Well done, Lucifer. You're really good at right now protecting me." This is where Naruto nodded. This is where Naruto says, "Yes, what's it called? Kazekage-sama." This is where, well, the Kazekage says, "But let's go, Naruto." Or not Naruto, Lucifer. We're going towards the Leaf Village with the other Kages going also. So, let's rip through those goddamn pathetic Leaf Ninjas and kill them. Naruto nodded. Let's go then. Now, what's called, Anoki is actually bringing also 2 bodyguards. The Kazekage is the only one bringing what's called, well, 1 bodyguard, and that is Naruto, being Lucifer, because he knows Lucifer is strong as fuck. And of course, Anoki is bringing 2 bodyguards also, and that is, well, I said well too many times. That is, well, the 2 Chinchurikis named Han and what's it called, Roshi. The next, what's it called, we go into Kumo. The Raikage is bringing his 2 bodyguards, but yeah, I forgot their names, but yeah. Of course, is where, well, the Mizu Kage is actually bringing, well, Zabuza and Ao, but yeah. Now, of course, the Kazekage could have brought anyone else instead of just Lucifer, but he did bring other Chunin senseis and yeah, to just kind of protect him, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where Naruto, he's getting ready to destroy the Leaf Village. But we go into another place, far away. Right now, the Akatsuki has heard about this fake Akatsuki member. This is where Pain got angry and wondered who was the one to leak out information. This is where Kisame and Itachi talked about a black cloak figure attacking Itachi and probably figuring any information from Itachi when Itachi tried to do Tsukuyomi but got reflected. That's where Pain says. I don't know what he's after, but he did took the 7 toes with him. I think so, or destroyed it. I don't know what happened. But we are going to the Leaf Village to take the 9 toes. All of us. So yeah. So of course, this is where everyone nodded. But this is where I'm gonna leave it off for part 6 of What If Naruto Was a Half God, Half Demon, and Half Death. But yeah, bye bye.